There was a little time when historians fascinated with death. There was little time when historians fascinated with death. Class 8 history ni. Revision ni ko. There were time when historians were fascinated with death. There were heated debates about the death on which rulers were crowned or battles and where fought. The common sense notion in the common sense notion history was synonymous with death. You may have heard people say, I find history boring. History boring way kind of. It is all about memorizing dates memorized over. Is this condition true? History is certainly about changes that occur time. History is certainly about changes that occurs over time. It is about finding out how things were in the past and we compare the past with the present. We refer to time. History is certainly about changing that occurs over time. History has a kind of home that changes over with time. It is about finding out the things were in the past and how things were created. History is certainly about changes that occur over time. History it is about finding out how things were created in the past and how things have changed. Things become and changed over now. As soon as we compare the past with the present, we refer to time. As soon as we compare the past with present, compare we refer to time. We talk of before and after and living in the world. Living in the world, we do not always ask historical questions about what we see around us. We take things for granted as if we see it has always been in the world we inhabit, but most of us have our moments of the wonder when we are curious and we ask questions that actually are historical. Watching someone sip a cup of tea at a roadside tea stall, you may wonder when did people begin to drink tea. Looking out the Looking out of the window of a train, you may ask yourself, when were railways been railways how did people travel long distance before the age of railways? Other railways people have traveled. Reading the newspaper in the morning, you may be curious to know how people got to hear about things before newspaper began to print. Reading the newspaper in the morning the newspaper pavana, you may curious to know how newspaper the print over the class. The printing press the Brahmanas Brahmans in offering the Shastras to Britannia. Brahmans in offering the Shastras to Britannia. This is going to picture Chico. British ki music the Moigi Brahmans in offering P1. Print speech to the first map produced by James Renell 1780 to the Putopan. 1782 the James Renell have a map set given. Renell was asked by Robert Clark to produce maps of Hindustan. Renell is Robert Clark na hangi bane maps of Hindustan की map an enthusiastic supporter of British conquest of India. British ने India conquest over Robert Clark कब conquest हो गया था कोई 1857 the Battle of Plassey the Robert Clark na Sirajuddaulah Ethiopia matunda. Renal saw preparation of maps as essential. Renal saw preparation of maps as essential to proceed. Renal saw Renal preparation of maps as an essential to the process of domination. India couldn't done mother. India location mother. No see the car way Renal Urameko. Renal saw preparation of maps as essential to the process of domination. The picture here tries to suggest that Indians willingly gave over their ancient texts to Britannia. The picture here tries to suggest that India willingly gave over their ancient texts to Britannia. The big Britannia the symbol of British power as if asking her to become the protector of Indian culture. Indian culture protector of high never. 1757ꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣ ꯄꯦꯇꯦꯜ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯄ꯭ꯂꯦꯁꯤ ꯔꯣꯕꯥꯔꯠ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯏꯕ ꯁꯤꯔꯥꯖꯨꯗ ꯀꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯔꯣꯕꯥꯔꯠ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯥꯏꯕꯅ ꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯁꯤꯔꯥꯖꯨꯗ ꯃꯥꯏꯊꯤꯕ ꯄꯤꯔꯦ ꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯃꯤꯔ ꯕꯛꯁꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯀꯃꯥꯟꯗꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯃꯤꯔ ꯖꯐꯔꯅ ꯃꯥꯕꯨ ꯙꯣꯀꯥ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯔꯝꯕꯗꯒꯤꯀꯣ all such historical questions refer all such historical questions refer back to the notions of the time. But the time does not have to be always precisely dated in terms of particular year or a month. Sometimes it is actually incorrect to fix precise dates. Sometimes it is actually incorrect. Kayuma tamnamsi aranbo oibako. Sometimes it is actually incorrect to fix precise date to process that happen over a period of time. People in India do not begin drinking tea on one fine day. People in India, प्रजादा लेरम अगर इंडिया दा हिंगमा प्रजा सिंह से all such historical questions refers us back to notions of time. But time does not have to be always precisely dated in terms of particular year or a month. Sometimes it is actually incorrect to fix the precise date to process that happen over a period of time. People in India did not begin drinking tea tea one fine day. They developed taste for it over time. There can be no one clear date for a process such as of this. Similarly, we cannot fix one single date on which British rule was established, or the national movement started, or changes took place within the economy and society. All these things happen over a stretch of time. We can only refer to a span of time and approximate period of time which particular change become visible. Why then we why then do we continue to associate history with a string of dates? This association has a reason. There was a time when history was an account of battles and big events. It was all about rulers and their policies. Historians wrote about the year a king was crowned, the year he married, the year he had a son, the year he fought a particular war, the year he died, and the year next ruler succeeded to throne. For events such as this, the specific date can be determined, and histories such as this debates about continue to be important. As you have As you have seen in the history textbooks of the past 2 years, historians now write about the host of other issues and other questions. They look at how people earn ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯂꯦꯕ ꯏꯄꯪꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯏꯗ꯭ꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯂꯤꯚꯂꯤꯍꯨꯗ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯤꯡꯉꯝꯃꯤ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯄꯨꯊꯣꯛꯑꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅꯗꯤ ꯀꯔꯝꯕ ꯗꯦꯕꯂꯞ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯁꯤꯡ ꯃꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯥꯔꯀꯦꯠ ꯀꯔꯝꯕ ꯗꯦꯕꯂꯞ ꯇꯧꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯃꯑꯣꯡꯗ ꯏꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯥꯛꯅ ꯃꯔꯣꯟ ꯋꯥꯔꯤ ꯈꯪꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯃꯔꯣꯟ ꯑꯅꯤ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯄꯥꯔ ꯔꯤꯚꯤꯖꯟ ꯇꯧꯔ ꯂꯣꯏꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯄꯤ ꯋꯥꯏ ꯀ꯭ꯌꯨꯒ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯃꯥꯒ ꯃꯊꯪꯗ ꯕꯥꯏ ꯋꯥꯠ ꯀꯗꯔ ꯗꯨ ꯋꯤ ꯆꯨꯁ ꯑꯦ ꯁꯦꯠ ꯑꯣꯐ ꯗꯦꯁ ꯑꯦꯁ ꯏꯝꯄꯣꯔꯇꯦꯟ ꯀꯔꯝꯕ ꯗꯦꯠꯅꯣ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯏꯝꯄꯣꯔꯇꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯟꯗꯣꯏꯁꯤ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯔꯦ ꯑꯦꯗꯚꯔꯇꯤꯁꯃꯦꯟ ꯍꯦꯜꯞ ꯀ꯭ꯔꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯇꯦꯁ ꯑꯦꯗꯚꯔꯇꯤꯁꯃꯦꯟꯅ ꯃꯍꯥꯎ ꯇꯝꯕ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯉꯦ ꯑꯦꯗꯚꯔꯇꯥꯏꯁ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯗꯤ ꯌꯥꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯀꯥꯟꯗꯤꯀꯣ all advertisement help us understand how markets for new products were created all advertisement ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯑꯔꯤꯕ advertisement help us ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯉꯦꯕ how market for new products were created ꯑꯅꯧ ꯑꯅꯧꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯗꯛꯁꯤꯡ ꯃꯥꯔꯀꯦꯠ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯀ꯭रिꯌꯦꯠ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨ ꯇꯦꯁ ꯋꯦꯌꯔ ꯄꯣꯄꯨꯂꯔꯥꯏꯁ ꯑꯅꯧ ꯑꯅꯧꯕ ꯇꯦꯁꯁꯤꯡ ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯄꯣꯄꯨꯂꯔꯥꯏꯁ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯣꯀꯣ This in 1922 advertisement for Lipton tea suggested 1922 advertisement for Lipton taste na suggest tawebko Lipton taste ko Lipton taste ki mahawsina ko suggest tawebko that reality all over the world is associated with this tea. Sige sa si world ko din reality on tagnay. In the background you see the outer wall of Indian palace. Background the Indian palace ki kunung ini. While the four mamang seated on horseback, so matapamang lady ko. Is the third son of Queen Victoria of Britain, the third son Prince Arthur ko, who was given the Duke of Connaught, Duke of Middle given. Then the by what criteria? By what criteria do we choose a set of dates as important? The dates we select, the dates around which we compose our story of the past, are not important on their own. They become vital maro is that we focus on particular set of events is important. Maro is a particular set important. Kada gonna focus to we. Do see something. It if our focus study focus sense that we if we begin to look at new issues, a new set of dates will appear significant. Consider an example number Yankiko. In the stories written by British historian in India British historians in the history the rule of its governor general and viceroy governor general matuna lakpado. Governor general haibadi Robert Clapp, William Bentinck, ꯑꯗꯩꯗꯤ ꯋꯣꯂꯦꯁꯂꯤ ꯗꯥꯜꯍꯧꯁꯤꯒ ꯂꯩꯔꯝꯕꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯚꯥꯏꯁꯔꯣꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯣꯔꯗ ꯀꯦꯅꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯄꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯥꯎꯟ ꯕꯦꯇꯟ ꯂꯣꯔꯗ ꯀꯦꯅꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯏꯔꯋꯤꯟ ꯀꯥꯟꯗꯤ ꯏꯔꯋꯤꯟ ꯄꯤꯀꯠ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯗꯣ this histories began with the rule of first governor general Warren Hastings and ended with the last viceroy. First governor general Jikarane Warren Hastings never go governor general of Bengal. The first governor general of Indiana Lord William Bentinck. Such system and ended with the last viceroy Aroiba viceroy Lord Mountbatten Aroiba viceroy. In separate chapters we read about the deeds of others. Tolong chapter tamakin hari mana siko. Hastings, Wellesley, Bentinck, di Dalhousie. Kenong tani governor general nama di viceroy ng tani ko mo siya. The Canning, Lawrence, Lighton, Ripon, Curzon, Harding, Irwin. It was a seemingly never-ending succession of governor general and viceroy. All the dates in the history books were linked to these personalities. All the dates in the all the dates in this history books were linked to the personalities in Maryland and to their activities moving tabak torambasing policies in achievements in Kodamana Lord Dalhousie matamda way Kadora Lord Dalhousie matamda doctrine of labs and Lord Wellesley matamda Kadora matamda Lord Wellesley matamda kari subsidiary alliance hodolom kopa Lord Ripon matamda local self government Lawrence Henry Lawrence matamda kay leramba Lord Canning matamda bakari koigi secretary of state ka hudokiba is in the company mutkiba sinasing ko it was it There was nothing outside their lives, and there was important for us to know the chronology of their lives marked the different chapter of history of British India. Chronology the chronology of their lives mark chronology na mark the different chapters of the history of British India. Can we not write about the history of this period in different way? Hariba history singiban to ano the different way the iba yabra haiba. It is to tell the history. It is to tell the story in a way that makes some sense and can be followed. In the process, we focus only on those events that help us to give shape. Okay, but in the process that we focus, going to focus in the process we focus only those events that help us to give the shape to the story we're telling. Go focus to in the histories that revolve around the life of British governor generals. In the history that revolve around the life of British governor general history that the activities of Indians simply do not fit. They have no space like they were. Then when do we do? What do we do? Clearly, we need another format of our history. This would mean that all dates will no longer have Masina idea dates into later have a new set of dates will become more important or ever. How do we periodize? Periodize point of view. Only you can have the when Hastings became first governor general of Bengal line governor general first they can only Lord William Bentinck. While history book narrated the deeds of governors and biographies glorified them as persons and paintings projected them as powerful figures. While history book while history books narrated the deeds of governor general, biographies glorified them as persons, painting projected them as powerful figures. Powerful figures in this. Yes, how do we periodize? When periodize comment to in 1917, the James Mill governor the Scotland a Scottish economist and political philosopher published a massive three-volume work. Three-volume work. Diagram for me the history of British India history government. In his in this Masida, he divided Indian history into three periods. Indian history home dono kadolami Hindu, Muslim, British. Abo jita misina kari medieval, ancient medieval, modern haba. My James Mill haba British ki Scottish kadolamana Hindu, Muslim jo British kadolamana. Sida preparing for next Governor of Bengal, Governor of India, Governor General, Governor of Bengal, the Governor of India, Governor of Bengal, Governor India, Governor General of India, the Viceroy. Next, in 1817, the James Mill, a Scottish economist and political philosopher, published a massive three-volume work, A History of British India Government. In this, he divided Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British and Khaidolami. This periodization came to be widely accepted. However, periodization can you think of any problem with this way of looking at Indian history. Let's prepare together. The history of British India. In this, we divided Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. This periodization came to be widely accepted. Can you think any problem in this when looking for Indian history? Why do we try to divide history into different periods? We do so as an attempt. We do so. We do so as We do so in an attempt to capture the characteristics of time, its central features as they appear to us. So the terms through which we periodize, that is, demarcate the difference between periods, become important. They reflect our idea about the past. They show how we see the significance of change from period to the next. I think the Mill thought that all Asian societies were at lower level of civilization remain kalam James Mill kalam Asian society kudi lower civilization lerami. According to his telling mana highway matung in of history before the British came to India. British India last year matam the Hindu Muslim depots ruled the country. Hindu Muslim despots in just I am beginning. So beginner in how to general studies. So I start from basic, bro. Uh, uh, are you a beginner or repeater, brother? Religious intolerance, caste taboos, and superstition practice dominated. Social British rule, mill fan, social British rule, mill fan could civilize had a mill column civilized over and to do this it was necessary to introduce European manners. Okay, okay, sorry. The British rule mill fan could civilize India. To do this, it was necessary to introduce European manners in arts, institutions, and laws in India. Mill in fact suggested that British should conquer all the territories in India to ensure the enlightenment and happiness of Indian. Mill India se Mill in fact suggested that British should conquer all the territories in India to ensure the enlightenment and happiness of Indian people, for India was not capable of progress without British help. The India से British की help जरूर चौकट पर यार no okay I don't please don't think like that. Okay, let's prepare together. For India was not capable of progressing without British help. In this idea, of history, British will represent all over all the forces of progress and civilization. Hadi asigi wakolonjida British kalameba. In the idea of history, British will represent all forces. Hadi masigi idea of history that British rule sina. British rule sina loy represent the period of British rule was one of the darkness. ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯕ꯭ꯔꯤꯇꯤꯁ ꯔꯨꯜ ꯂꯥꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯉꯩ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤ ꯗꯥꯔꯛꯅꯦꯁ ꯑꯃꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯈꯪꯍꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯦꯕ ꯃꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯤ ꯕ꯭ꯔꯤꯇꯤꯁ ꯔꯨꯜ ꯂꯥꯛꯇ꯭ꯔꯤꯉꯩꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯥꯁꯤ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯃꯝꯃꯦ ꯀꯔꯤꯝꯇ ꯂꯩꯇꯕ ꯑꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯣꯏꯅ ꯈꯟꯈ꯭ꯔꯦꯕ Can such a conception be accepted today? In any case, can we refer to any period of history as Hindu or Muslim? In any case, can we refer any period karamba Hindu or Muslim haina khangnaba yage haibako? Did not a variety of faiths exist simultaneously in these periods? Why should we character? Why should we characterize in? Why should when characterize the N as only through a why should we characterize N as same only through region? Region get through the characterize of the rulers of the time. To do so, so is to suggest that lapse and practice of others do not really matter. Machine have top religion me singing matter of the high we should remember that when singing even the rulers of ancient do not all share the same path. We India will rule the rulers in power. Some another dharma chalam de hai be koina kangadam ne ko thajanaba ona I am the mahais. Moving away from the British classification, British classification like Lapturalako. Historians have usually divided Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. Moving away from the British classification, like Lapturalako. Moving away from the British classification like Lapturalako. Historians have usually divided Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. Historians in the Historians have usually divided Indian history into ancient, medieval, and modern. This division has a problem. This division too has its problem. It is a periodization that this division has its problem. It is a periodization that is borrowed from the West, where modern period was associated with the growth of all processes of modernity, science, religion, democracy, liberty, and equality. Medieval was a term used to describe a society where these features of modern did not exist. Medieval hari modern exist tawriga matandani. Can we uncritically accept this characterization of modern period to describe the period of our study? Yes, you will see this book did not have equality, freedom, or liberty, nor was the political period of one of economic growth and progress. Many historians therefore refer to this period as colonial. Historians in the period the colonial. Many historians therefore refer to this period as the colonial. What is colonial? Colonial hai di kaina tum colonial hai di colonial hai di kaina ham tum da colonial hai di kaino ne ba. In this book in this book you will read about the way the British came to conquer the country and establish the rule. British India the Kamal Lala Moy established rule the have talked to Nico local Nawab Singh locating to Ajasing Association Kaman and Antagi had a talk to Nico. You will see how they established control over the economic society, collected revenue to meet all their expenses. Or the Makoina India the Hing Matamda Sangma Pesasing Kamana put India the Kamana Kongolake Hamadu. I don't know. I message on my yard, going to chat those if I be reply people. I cannot reply in message. Why? I don't know. Oh, then you will see that they establish control over the economy and society, collect their revenue to meet their expenses, bought the goods they want at low price, produce crops they needed for export, and you will understand the sense that came about as consequence. You will also come to know about the changes British rule brought about in values and taste, customs and practice. When the subjugation of another country by another leads these kinds of political and economic, social and cultural changes, we refer to process as colonization. Colonization is a thing in Manipuri loan the Hayako. You will, however, find that all classes and groups did not experience these changes in the same way. This is why book is called parts in the plural. Karachi and Greek and Wedding Holding City. The Zoti, those partial machines. What sources do historian use? Historian resource, no, I would call. What sources do historians use in writing about the John Sheng Bro, John Sheng Bro? What sources do historians use in writing about the last 250 years of Indian history? Indian history, say, history, source, the administration produce record. Reports to the Home Department. Report to the Home Department. Okay. Reports to the Home Department. Home Department, the people report. So in 1946, the colonial government in India was trying to put down a mutiny that broke out on the ships of the Royal Indian Navy. 1946, the colonial government in India level colonial government was trying to put down, the British government put down a mutiny that broke out on the ships of Royal Indian Navy. Royal Indian Navy, Royal Indian Navy mutiny, report. Here is a sample of the kind of reports the Home Department got from different doctors. Doctors report Bombay, the arrangements have been made for army to take over ships and establishment Royal Navy ships are remaining outside harbour. Karachi, the 301 mutineers are under arrest forever, and a few more strongly suspected are being arrested. All establishments are under military guard ki makhada lay ko. The position is completely under control and no violence has occurred. Military guards have been placed on ships and establishments. No further trouble is expected except few men may refuse to work. Reporter, one important source is the official records of the British administration. In the history of the more source of one important source is the official records of British administration.